You know, the art of map reading has been lost over the years with the advent of GPS and Google Maps and the like. When I grew up as a kid, I grew up with an appraiser stepdad. And so I would oftentimes have to help him in the summers and would have to go to different houses and get appraisals and those kind of things. And I remember learning how to read maps really well. I mean, I am an expert map reader. And even traveling as a young adult, you had to learn how to read maps and figure out how to make the best destination. But you know what? Maybe, maybe map reading is overrated. Welcome to Walking Through the Word for today. We are in John chapter 14, and we talked yesterday about Jesus talking about not having our hearts be troubled. And today he's going to continue the conversation, but he's going to talk about knowing the way home, actually. Now, when you look at Google Maps today, you oftentimes don't have a clue. There is an option to look at the overall trip, but really what Google does is it gives you bit by bit what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to stay on this road for X number of miles, and then you're going to make a right turn. And then the closer you get to the destination, it finally reveals to you what spot you're going to be, what street it is, what exit number it is, and it finally tells you in detail what it is that you need just in the right amount of time. You know, that's actually a lot of ways of what life is. We know the destination, at least we hope we know the destination, but to get there, we have to trust that God knows exactly what turns we need to make. And that's what he's trying to tell his disciples here, starting in verse 4, when he says, you know the way to the place where I'm going. Remember, the place is what he referenced to the disciples, the Father's house, where he's going to go prepare a place, and then he's going to come get us. And he says, you know the way to the place where I'm going. Not, you will know the way, but you know the way. To which Thomas doesn't quite get it and says, Lord, we don't know where you're going, and so how can we know the way? And then Jesus gives one of his most famous answers when he says, I am the way, I am the truth, and I am the life. And no one comes to the Father except through me. If you really know me, you will know my Father as well. And from now on, you do know him and have seen him. Jesus gives us this incredible response and says, I am Google Maps. I am the way. I am the destination that you're looking for. And you only get to it through me. And he gives us three very powerful statements when he says, I am the way, I am the truth, and I am the life. In other words, Jesus says, I am the source of showing everything that you need for life and life more abundantly. I am going to show you the way. I'm going to give you the turn-by-turn navigation that you're going to need to get through life. I will make your path straight. I am also the truth. I am the source I am the map that you can trust. You know, many years ago when Apple tried to come out with their own maps, that was kind of infamous because it gave instructions that actually were trying to get cars to drive into the middle of lakes and those kind of things. It wasn't the source that everyone turned to. It ended up being Google Maps, and I think nowadays everybody pretty much uses Google Maps. But that's the point, is it's the source. Now as opposed to Google, Jesus actually is the truth. He is the accurate source where you can look at it and know this is the path that I should follow. And if you follow this, you end up at the destination, which is life. So Jesus here is telling us, you know how to do it. You just have to believe and follow in me. You believed in God, believe also in me. I and the Father are one. Jesus is telling us exactly what we need to go. We don't need to worry about knowing every single little spot of the destination. We simply need to just go until Jesus tells us to turn. And he'll make it clear where we need to turn. And he'll make it very clear at the times that we need it. And not only that, but he will give us everything we need for life of godly living in him. Everything that we need for godliness. This is the beautiful thing about Jesus, and it should take us as a great comfort. We don't have to worry about the uncertainty because we already know the destination, and if, like Google Maps, we trust that Jesus knows where to make us turn and where to make us go, we have to trust that he knows far better than some app that was created by people. He is the creator of the universe. He certainly knows. Everything goes through him. Jesus, when he says, I am the way, the truth, and the life, we can absolutely rely and believe on him.